How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Shaun Attwood channel. I'm Ron Swanson, and I'm here with John Wiber, and we're going to be delving in to the FBI. How clean are their hands? We're going to look at some historical points that I've found, and we're going to listen to John take us through his research and findings. But before we do that, John, thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
What's up, Ron? Thanks for having me, man. I'm, a lowly Canadian Canuck here. I worked in government for 10 years. So I worked in politics. I was in the annals of power, as they say.
Right.
So don't judge me for it. I did used to wear, the whole monkey suit, the tie. I had the little fucking badge. I'd flash it at security. Yeah. I really thought my shit didn't stink. So that was all throughout my 20s. I'm proud to say I got blacklisted from the Conservative Party, and then I was blacklisted from the Liberals as well. So I actually worked for both parties.
Wow. Okay.
Here's the spoiler alert. Okay, Ron.
Okay.
They're the same. It's the same shit. There's no difference. The money comes from the same place. Yeah, they have different morals, but they are operated exactly the same. They are the members of Parliament are told what to say by the party. They do not represent constituents. And they all take money from the same people. And maybe that's why nothing interesting indeed.
Well, it makes sense though.
Changed. Maybe that's why you see, it's like, well, why is things just getting worse?
So basically what you're saying, what we're summarizing here is the people that are invested in building up these politicians on both sides for their parties are playing both sides. So the individuals who are buying are donating, shall we say, to these parties.
Yes.
It's a win-win for them. It's keeping both sides sweet for whose strings are going to get pulled, right?
I think the Wall Street bros would say they're hedging their bets.
They're hedging their bets. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. I've not paid much attention to as much attention to the FBI as I had in the Kash Patel era of the FBI. So should we start just talking about that, and then we'll sort of digress into other areas, or do you want to build up to Kash Patel? Would you rather set the story of shenanigans during and prior, and then we'll end with that lovely gem? It's up to yourself.
Fuck, I don't know, Ron.
Why don't you?
I think Kash Patel's. We could just start there. The guy came in. Let's talk about just the FBI in general. You remember how MAGA wanted to defund the FBI? That was a big thing. People forget this shit. But during Trump's election campaign, that was a big movement. A lot of Americans talking about, listen, they're overextended. There's too much secrecy. They're not serving Americans' interests anymore. They're serving their own. We should defund the FBI. And actually, Kash, this fella right here, was a big proponent of that. Funny enough, as the wheels turn and Kash was put into power, we see nothing changed. Epstein files not released. In fact, they tried to deny they even existed. I mean, all these things. And then having said all that, now, and I know I'm going a little off topic here, Mr. Swanson, but
don't worry.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that. So all these people that wanted to defund a 3-letter agency for being too secret are now supporting another 3-letter agency, which is shooting American citizens in the face. That's kind of ironic in a grim, pathetic, sad kind of way, right? So, having said all of that, the FBI has some very interesting connections to serial killers, and this is something that I've just discovered. So, I'm not even talking about
before we segue, John, right? Before we segue, with Kash Patel, I don't think I'd ever seen anyone of his position on a podcast during their career. You might have a former this or that going on and discussing things. And I've spoken to a couple of people who are connected with the channel who are ex-FBI, and they're like, yeah, it's never happened, right?
Never.
Did you get a sort of spidey sense tingling that we're now seeing the off-mainstream media being recognized for its power for shifting people's opinions? Because the Joe Rogan show, massive. And the people that go there are the people that have given up on traditional media for news and information, I believe. And it was quite a concerning moment when I realized that we're now going to see audiences harnessed for this game.
Yeah, I worry Listen, Joe still makes some great points.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, get the bag, homie, all day.
100%.
Having said that, I worry. That is what it was, Ron.
100%.
That is what it could have been. Now, I have a little different perspective on it. I think this side of the media sphere has now been infiltrated by the mainstream, and so what you're seeing is now, rather than Rogan, holding people accountable, it's become a platform for Elon Musk and Trump's MAGA buddies to go on there and justify bullshit.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting things.
And like when Kash Patel goes on a podcast in like a hoodie talking about his fucking meme coin that he made or whatever, it's like, that's such a weird look. Like, I don't know who's advising him that, like, I don't want to see the FBI director dressed up like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the hoodie guy. I got that covered. We do need professionals.
Is this the introduction of FBI bro culture? Is this what we're seeing here? Because that
sounds and that sounds horrific to me. FBI bro culture.
But I mean, does that not just the very pinnacle of a government think tank? Do you know what I'm saying? That's like some 21 Jump Street movie theme stuff. Okay, listen, we're going to put you in a hoodie, send you on a podcast, and you're going to talk about the meme coins. Okay, trust me, bro. It's a weird tool, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know a single other name of an FBI guy that ran the FBI. Was J. Edgar Hoover, was he a president? I don't know, but he was involved in something. Other than that, no other name. Yeah, so they've done well. They've done well with the marketing of Kash Patel, because I've never heard of. I would never have known. Do you know what I'm saying? So, are we going to start seeing a shift in Trump's government to almost try and reality TV show-ify these people? Because
happening now, I think we're there, right? And I think you look at Kash Patel. Like, listen, man, this guy literally got caught red-handed flying jets around America on the taxpayers' dollar to go see his little fucking girlfriend sing a country song. Like, they're not conspiracy. There's open files that say he spent millions of dollars using the FBI private jet to go to his girlfriend's concert. And I mean, God bless you, bro. She is hot. She is hot. But
let's boil that down. That's like if you had a company car that you weren't meant to use out of hours, and you went, I understand it's a jet. It's a lot more expensive, okay? But do you think the ego of these individuals is the reason why they think they're unstoppable? Because clearly
they get told, yeah, go ahead and use it. Like, they're like, yeah, that's yours. We'll make up a reason. They'll say, I mean, I know for a fact. I know. All right, I gotta say this carefully.
All right.
I like the guy that I'm about to talk about.
So okay.
But I know for a fact that there's a politician that took his girlfriend to Paris on the taxpayers' dollar. And just said, yeah, she's my volunteer assistant. So it's like, these things happen and have happened forever. Having said that, if I used my company car, that would be money that I made off my own fucking blood and sweat and tears.
I'm with you. Okay, so
it's not a car that the taxpayers are paying for. It's certainly not a fucking jet.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Now, with all of this going on, and we know that there's a history of shenanigans with transportation and ladies and all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
Then we have to assume we can upscale that in the criminality mindset, and there are those who would be willing to do much darker things.
You ever heard of the banality of evil? You ever heard that expression, Ron?
Yep. I mean, I couldn't explain it to you, but as a podcaster who doesn't want to look silly, I will agree. Yes.
It's the Nuremberg trials. It's these the German officers that were just trying to get a promotion. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you lock into people, when you have people so kind of focused on a system or brainwashed or, drowning in propaganda, pick one or all of the above. I think we're dealing with all of those things right now, right? So it's like, you can make a person very evil just by pushing them to get a promotion. And that's the fucking thing right there.
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of people, when we talk about a lot of the sort of horrific religious and occultist abuse that takes place, people often assume these are all career child predators and things like this, but people will do horrific things in the name of power and money and control.
Think about it, too, like when you're in desperate times and you got a family to feed, man, Like I'm not saying, I'm a complex individual, Ron. I wrote
Right.
some novels in my youth, and I've always studied literature. I've always been fascinated with crime and crime figures. So I have an empathetic side that I understand. I even understand someone that wants to provide for their family doing terrible things. It's like, listen, I'm not trying to let you off the hook or rationalize it, but I don't necessarily blame them. I blame the fucking system, which pushes them to the point where they think they have to do that evil shit. That's where I'm at with it, right? I blame the system creating monsters, right?
Okay, but do you not feel that we need to step back and realize that as a culture, we've messed up, become too complacent, and allowed this to happen? Because those who want to stand there and say, hey, I'm in this situation and I can't get out of it. As a society, we put too much trust in governments and individuals who have fed us lies, and now we are deep in it. And we're starting to realize that unless there's serious change, it's when does stuff ever get any better? Never. So we need to put a pin in this now. Okay. And we need to start moving forward from this point, because if the ball keeps rolling, it only rolls down.
We keep expecting some great, brave new leader to come in and fix everything, right? But I don't think there's been a true leader, especially like I'm going to speak specifically in America here, but since they killed JFK, since CIA killed JFK,
I say the same thing. I say the same thing.
Actual representative of the people since that day. So,
I mean, we could probably sit here and do a whole PowerPoint on arguing that if there was a point in which the elections became out of America's hands, that was the last time that the powers that be allowed 100%. You crazy folk free will to elect someone who's going to shut down the CIA and expose all the government secrets. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel the exact same way. 100%.
How do you guys feel over there? Have you faced any scrutiny, if you don't mind me asking, Ron, with your...
Have we faced any scrutiny?
Well, like I assume.
All right. You might want to brace yourself. So we've got close to 14,500 people in prison for social media posts.
I know that.
We've got close to 90 Sharia law courts that have been established throughout the UK. We have a clear
Sharia law courts.
Correct. The United Arab Emirates, which are the very progressive Muslim states around the world, have made it illegal for their students to come to the UK now, because we are being declared the #1 terrorist radicalization hotspot in the world. So basically what that means, if you're a young progressive Muslim who comes to the UK, you're going to be targeted by extremist individuals, and we're the #1 recruitment site in the world now. Stick that on your flipping I've just come back from the UK travel sticker. Anything else you want to know? Like, I
got one for you. I got one actually. I'm pulling it up. I don't want to fuck it up, but basically I read that 14,000. It's funny that the number's 14,000 also, but there's a shit ton of wealthy British people leaving the UK right now. It just dropped. I think it's
and what's the #1 place they're heading? But where's the #1 place they're heading, John? Where's the #1 place?
That's what I was trying to look. Where are
I
they?
can guarantee you, I would probably say over 60% will be heading to places like Dubai and other places, because there's it just seems to be what is happening in the UK.
Anyone that can afford to get the fuck out basically is getting out of the UK right now. That was what I took from the article, and I saw that just this morning. Any white person that can afford to get out.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that sucks.
And England is a vast contrast to where Scotland is, but Scotland's getting real bad. It really is.
My grandmother was from Glasgow, so that's not great to hear. But like, listen, man, that's kind of
your grandma must have been a badass, bro. She wasn't from a place called Paisley, was she?
I'm not sure.
That's a whole different ballgame. Okay, right. Let's veer this back. So, the FBI and human transportation, as we have to say on YouTube, it's one of those things. I mean, there's going to be bad eggs. And what's your kind of presentation with it all, John?
Okay, so I'm going to just start off. You ever heard of the octopus conspiracy? Danny Casolaro.
No, take it away.
So Danny Casolaro was murdered. We're on YouTube, aren't we? Unalived himself by.
There we go.
Hurting himself on his wrist a bunch of times, 20 times. In fact, he managed
Makes
to.
sense. Of course.
Yeah. And
It's
then,
like,
of course,
yep.
all his literature, all the research he had been working on disappeared that night, but they ruled it to, the shmuashai. So it's like, okay, nothing to see here. Now, what he was working on is an intricate conspiracy that connects the Iran-Contra affair, the October surprise, all these sort of things that happened throughout the late 70s and 80s. Now, there's a couple key people. I'm just going to start throwing some names out. So there's this guy named Philip Arthur Thompson. And anyone watching, feel free to Google that guy. Now, he had been, let's go through his rap sheet, okay? He was kidnapping, robbery, rape, grape, murder, attempted murder. He was distribution of substances, all this guy. Never went to jail. FBI informant, was pretty much given carte blanche to go out there. He orchestrated numerous hits, allegedly. And all of this, I guess, is allegedly, although he was charged with these crimes. So I don't know, where's the alleged in that anymore? Basically, the FBI would be like, no, we still need this guy. It's okay. He may have, taken the lives of a few people, but we're just going to let that slide. So that in itself is concerning. You would
okay, so was he a career criminal, or was he FBI? So he was a career criminal, and the FBI have know his rap sheet, and they've went, you're still an asset, effectively, right?
What is it, the chicken or the egg? Like, did the FBI make him that so that he can infiltrate underworld? Like, I who knows?
Okay. So what you're possibly saying is there could be individuals who are allowed to pursue their career path with help, with unknowing help from the FBI. You know what I'm saying? We'll arrest your enemies. We'll let you grow.
We'll give you the odd name of someone, maybe.
Interesting. Because it makes more sense to have a mark that's going to potentially be used, have no knowledge of how they got to where they're going. Makes it way safer, right? And that's very interesting, John. Carry on with that.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, this guy ended up, I think he was put away eventually in the early 2000s. Now, he was connected with a guy named John Philip Nichols, another FBI informant. And there was a fellow named Michael Reconasudo, who was also connected to intelligence agencies. Now, these people were all involved in Walter White type businesses, if you catch Breaking Bad. So they were doing stuff like that. They were creating privacy surveillance software for the government, right? So, and this is like the early stages of Palantir. Like, this is like, back before we even had home computers. But these things they already had the surveillance, of course, software made even before we had the computers. So we were cooked even before we knew it, right? But so having said all that, that's just that's a new rabbit hole that I just unlocked. But I think when you reached out originally, we were talking about a fella named, sorry, 2 seconds.
Sorry, mate.
So the fella, it's the fella related to John Wayne Gacy. Sorry, my notes. You know what I did?
Don't worry. My audience are used to my ADHD, where mid-conversation, my brain deletes everything I'm saying, and they have to wait 30 seconds for my brain to reboot. So, well, I'll take this opportunity and make sure you guys, all of John's links are down in the description. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the Shaun Attwood channel. You can find me on the ProjectROOQ channel. And thank you all for being here. If you haven't already, please do like and share. It really does appreciate it. I know you hear me say like and share, but I actually need you to actually do those things. And I appreciate it. I'm going to put up a video for people who say they're watching on their TV and can't figure it out. Boomers, I've got you covered. So, John.
Okay, so his name's David Norman. And so there was this fellow named Dean Corll. Dean Corll, Corll. He was he murdered about 30 to at least 30 young high school boys and girls. Now, he had a young local kid going around, and he would give the kid $200 for every high school kid that he would bring over to Dean Corll's house. And then what would happen. So eventually that kid snapped one day and unalived Dean Corll. And what happened was there was this connection. Now, here's the thing. So this guy, David Norman, was connected with Dean Corll. He was also connected with a fella named John Wayne Gacy. So David Norman was part of a group called the Odyssey the Odyssey Group. And basically what that was a human transportation group, specifically children. And they found, because of all of this fallout, because of the Dean Corll arrest and the John Wayne Gacy arrests, they were able to, the FBI got their hands on, now it's disputed. This is literally, it's like, it was either 30,000 documents or 100,000, but it was 30,000 to 100,000 documents which had names of clients for this Odyssey Group. And now the Odyssey Group had many names for it. Yeah, so we're talking about 30 to 100,000 names of pedos, right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know what I'm
PDFs.
saying?
We're going to say PDFs.
What do you think PDFs? What do you think the FBI did with that? What do you think they did with the list?
They better have shut it down, bro. Like they better have shut it down.
Destroyed the list. No,
they destroyed the list.
They destroyed the list.
It's interesting because,
and then there was a Senate committee hearing about why they did it, which of course our fucking useless government and Senates didn't fucking really do anything, but they pretended to care. Like it's not, it's not conspiracy. It's not hypothetical. They destroyed the list of 100,000 PDFs that we could have arrested.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, let me just make sure my brain heard all this.
Yeah.
So we've got individuals like Dean Corll, and it was it the Dean Corll case that the Odyssey Group was discovered, or was it another case? It was that case. Okay. Now I'm not being funny. Like this is the Candyman.
Yeah, that's
I didn't recognize. It was this. It wasn't until I seen this image.
Yes, that's who it is.
That I realized who we're talking about here.
Yes.
And it's very interesting when we have monsters that are allowed to roam, whose crime turns out to be access to children, unaliving of children, horrible things with children, yes, and suspicious handling of files. Okay. And
why would the FBI do that? Like what?
Why would the FBI do that?
That's a great question, right? They're either the names on the list were so shocking they couldn't let it be released, or they're complicit allegedly in what's happening, right? Or like they're literally so incompetent.
Well, here's my algorithm. Here's my algorithm for it, John. If you were the FBI agent that set fire to that, okay?
Yeah.
You being blamed for burning the evidence of 100,000 PDFs in your head isn't as bad as what would have happened if it hadn't have been burnt. And for me, that has to only be justifiable if you're an evil monster protecting other evil monsters. Do you see what I mean? If it was a list of all of the the undercover Navy SEAL agents, would get it, right? Can have that going in there, get rid of that.
No, I agree.
So why then would you do something that the whole world would condemn you for? Well, it's because what you're hiding would have been a lot worse, right? And that only points to evil. Only points to evil, bro.
Do you want me to blow your fucking mind now? Because
listen, I'm prepared for it. Okay, I'm ready. I pulled my hoodie up so that brain matter can be caught. We're there.
What if this thing we're talking about was like pretty much the original Epstein list? And I say that not just based on fucking conjecture. It's a bit of conjecture, but listen, Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, is connected to all of this.
Okay.
Connected to all of this. Remember, I mentioned the spy software with the octopus murder conspiracy?
Yep.
Well, it was called Promise. And do you know who a proponent, lobbyist, creator of the software Promise was? Well, it was Robert fucking Maxwell. And that's documented too. So that little lady's father, who was a well-known Mossad agent, actually, he was considered the best Israeli surveillance intelligence agent of his generation.
Wouldn't it be interesting if what you were referring to was the newly discovered Israeli surveillance algorithm for every iPhone on the planet, where it's a soft entrance software, so you don't have to click on anything. They can just
that it is the origin of that, because this the stuff they,
because that's mind blowing. I don't know if I can quick cut to a YouTube short, but that dude, the hacker dude that's been going around all the podcasts with all the cool equipment, I can't remember his name. That dude, he was talking about it, and he shows it.
Is it Ryan Montgomery?
That guy, yes, 100%.
Yeah, I've made content with Ryan. We're friends.
He showed Aiden Ross how this works, right? How this works through giving Aiden Ross what looked like a regular USB cable, not a USB block, just the cable, right? As soon as he plugged it in, that was it. It was done. It was done. His whole phone, everything accessed, and it's accessed where it protects the user who's accessing it by allowing you to display the functionality or hide. It's wild.
Well, yeah,
So I
and,
wonder if that's what he was working on.
this is this. I mean, they've been working on this. It's funny, when you start looking at this whole big picture, you start to go, "Damn, they've been kind of planning this shit for a minute," because it's like the whole Promise software, what they did, and this, and so now here's the thing: you can back this up by looking at the Edward Snowden leaks, because Edward Snowden. So Promise, basically, the allegations when Danny Casolaro was killed. And I know I'm throwing lots of names at your audience right now, so I do apologize, but these are all important names you should know. So when Danny Casolaro was doing his investigation, he was proposing that this Promise software, which was advocated for by her father, and had murderers connected to it in piecemeal ways. It was designed to be sold to foreign governments, and unknowingly to them, it would backdoor. There's Danny. It would backdoor their security apparatus, and then the U.S. government could spy on them. That's what the allegation was. Well, Edward Snowden in 2011 came out and showed us that that's exactly what was fucking happening. So it's all. There's no more conspiracies anymore, bro. I think it's all just like they haven't quite released enough files for you to understand that did actually happen. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. It is only iPhones. Okay, I just want to point that out. No. I just wanted to get back. I'm actually, when I Googled Danny Casolaro, there's a couple other pictures where Danny does not look very good, I'm afraid. I'm assuming it didn't end well at all for Danny Casolaro.
No, it didn't. No,
did he get? I'm assuming he's the classic example of it got too close to the.
He told his brother, "If anything happens to me, it was not an accident." 2 weeks later, he was found in a bathtub in a hotel.
Wow, in a bathtub in a hotel. Like, I just want everybody.
Like I said, all of his research, his novel he was working on, The Octopus Conspiracy. Well, it was conveniently gone. They never found it.
This is the gentleman who unalived himself with cutting himself 20 times. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Got you. Okay. I'm with you. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, It's like when you lay this stuff out, even to the most rational person who's just focused on their day-to-day and doesn't have time to get, indulge my, fantasy conspiracies. It's like you said earlier, a 7-year-old could look at that.
Oh yeah,
and be like, that's not right. Like that's and I don't know why people aren't more pissed off about it. They're killing our friends and families, and we're doing and then it's calling it a self-inflicted thing when it's so clearly not.
I tell you what, John. Let's spend 5 minutes playing a game, right? Okay. And the title of the game is called "Why the Hell Does." Why? At what point are we going to react to this? Where's the line for people, right? So, for example, Building 7, 9/11, all the conspiracy around that, the fact that the building fell down in perfect, 90 or 30 foot cut up segments, right?
To its foot.
We're just going to look past that. We're just going to look past it. It's going to look past that. There's so much of it throughout history. Do you think that they've weaponized our complacency to just put up with? Well, if it's not on the real news, it's not real news. And do you think to some extent those who've moved away from the real news would rather exist in a semi-state of denial because who's going to listen?
It's mass psychosis on both sides.
It really is.
Trust me, Ron. I listen, there's a lot of people doing what I do now. And, they have a right to do that and power to them. I don't think the majority of them actually have the capacity to do what I do, though. I worked in government 10 years. I wrote 3 novels. I've read hundreds of, novels of literature. And I'm just saying, I'm no superhuman, but I've just read a lot and worked in government. So when I give you a nuanced opinion on what's happening, I'm not just pulling it out of my ass like a lot of these other people. So what I'm saying is, I think they have intentionally muddied the water to the point, and now you have AI involved with all this too, right, Ron?
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
What is real? And when you're asking that question, they've already won. Because if we don't know for sure when I watch a video, if that video is real, I don't know how we move forward from here.
Well, listen, I had a weird moment the other day, bro, where I was watching a YouTube short and it was one of these like emotional, like baby animal needs help and nurse back to help with family. Like, do you remember like the something dodo animal rescue content that was it's been around for years because they actually showcase animal rescue content.
Yes.
It was like that kind of a theme. Now, it initiated an emotional response of me shedding a tear, right? And then I realized it was AI, and I went, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, if this was the other way, if this was rage bait, if this was like whatever. And obviously, it's a lot easier to lower your guard to a nice animal video than, say, a video of a politician, you know, gearing up like Arnie and Commando, right? But bro, it really got me. And I just wondered to myself, where's everybody else's guard for the level of AI, like emotional drawing you in content? Because it really angered me that they got me. Like, I'll be honest.
Bro. Oh, this is such a synchronicity. I have my stories even more on, like, listen, okay, so this guy called Alan Watts, and I didn't know who he was. He's this philosopher, modern day philosopher.
Okay.
And I came across this video on the YouTubes, and it was how to never get angry again. I swear to God, that's what the video is called.
Okay.
And I watch it, and it's this beautiful. He's talking about, words are just empty air coming out of some other human's mouth, and you're letting them affect you so much, and all this. And brilliant, beautiful.
Yep.
Guess what? It wasn't actually an Alan Watts speech. It was an AI generated. Like, they took all of his lectures and then barfed out this thing.
Yep.
Before I knew that, I was literally quoting the video in my head walking down the street. Don't get angry. And when I found out it was AI, guess what I did? I got real fucking angry.
Well, do you know what's funny, right? Because we could say,
listen to it again. And
what if we find out one day, right, that those videos are the AI trying to help us, but doing it in the worst possible way? What if there's an AI bit of software going, right, listen, we've got to try and like help the humans to just chill out a little bit. Okay, we'll put this together. And then they've had an AI meeting and went, oh no, that was the wrong idea. They hate us more now. They're switching off the servers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it gets you.
Listen, there's a chance it's benevolent. There's a chance that it actually works.
Oh yeah, we're way past that argument, bro. Like, but here's when you say to an AI company, hey, can you stop your AI from producing these images? And they go, well, we can ask it. We can see how it feels about it. That's when you start getting worried. But the main point of this was, it got you, it got me. Yeah. It got me on an emotional level. It got you on an inspired level.
Yes.
Now, we are pretty much internet raised by, internet style later in life people, right?
Sure.
And like, there's a lot of people that don't know the difference. And it's going to be so heavily weaponized, especially currently. We've got the whole ICE shenanigans that's going on. There's the pros, there's the negatives, there's the, hey, people jumping in front of cars, there's people's homes being raided. It's a lot. And the AI is running rampant, bro. Like, it really is.
It's stoking emotions on it. It's just like we just both talked about. And we like to think we're two dudes that maybe get it a bit better than the average citizen. So imagine what it's doing to just fucking Joe Schmo who's got the Forrest Gump IQ. And I'm not trying to be mean. Like, that guy can probably do stuff I can't do. If he's a blue trade, a trades guy. I suck at that shit, right? So like, I'm not trying to like down talk anyone. I'm saying though, if you don't have the right mental capacity to deal with all this information right now, 100%. You're lost. You're drowning, and you're delusional.
You and I have the added bonus of universal healthcare in our countries, right? And there's a subsection of Americans who have a definite need for some help, but have access to a lot of weaponry. Okay. And if you wanted to radicalize a population and create little events around that nation, AI and the way that America is structured creates a vulnerable area where people are going to get radicalized, but they're not going to realize it's being pushed upon them because the most important thing is if you can radicalize someone, but get them to that point where they think they've got themselves there.
Yeah.
Mad.
That's That's your kamikaze soldier right there.
Right.
That's what that is.
100%.
Yeah, and you know,
100%.
let's go there. Like I was dancing, tiptoeing around it. Like, look, man, I'm here in Canada. We have the Indian problem. We have we've let in 6 million immigrants over the last 10 years, which is 30% of our population.
Okay, yeah.
Most of them came from India.
Okay.
Now, so do I worry about the state of my culture? Fucking absolutely. Listen, I do. Having said that, do I think that would I ever trust a government militarized agency to fix the fucking problem? No. Because I read 1984. I read Aldous Huxley. Like I not once has any of these secret police things ever worked out. On top of that, it's our own goddamn fault for not having enough babies here in Canada.
Oh yeah.
But here in Canada, if we didn't bring all these fuckers in, our welfare system would have collapsed 2 years ago because the baby boomers are all retiring and there's not enough youngins working to keep the system in place. It's the same thing happening around the Western world. So let's go deeper. Why did that happen? Well, was it because of liberal ideologies and woke culture that allowed feminism to grow to the point where being a mother somehow became an oppressive thing? And so
that's an interesting one.
You know, so now we got to bring in these immigrants, but now that justifies Starmer, that cuck, bringing in digital ID because things are so out of hand and out of control. It's designed.
Of course.
Convinced they designed
it can only be by design. There's not a level of incompetence that justifies it. It has to be by design.
I love that.
By that bare admission, it's treason. It's a treasonous, silent invasion. And listen, it's not about bringing in immigrants or refugees. It's about the importance of integration and actual help that you can do when you're spending state money. Look at Poland as an example. Over 2 million refugees from the Ukraine, mainly elderly, women, and children. Because the people that are coming into my country, brother, are military-aged men. So if by that assumption, they've sat their wife and kids down and went, right, listen, I'm going to leave you here in the war. I'm going to go get your refugee status. See you later. Makes no sense. Okay. We've got another country allowing the vehicles to leave their border to then come to our border that no one seems to be. A 12-year-old with a stick with a sharp point on the end of it could counteract these dinghies. Okay. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. No. And it's changed a lot of people. And the culture thing you were worried about, cultural concerns only come from when a force is oppressive against not integrating. They want to assimilate, not integrate. And that's what we're seeing here. And that's the real fear for us, because we've had a vast and varied population for years. And that's how I've grown up. There is nothing to do with race. It's entirely to do with, I want my country standards held to the same as Walmart. If Walmart closes its doors at 10 p.m. and I kick my way in, that's illegal. Same standards, please, for the country. All I'm saying, there we go.
No, look, at the end of the day, I try and remember this. I don't really give a fuck, what race you are, what religion you are. It's like, if you're not part of the 1%, whether you know it or not, you're on my side, bro. And it's like, so I try and just, if I got to do it one by one, I will try and win these people over. But you got to fight a lot of things. You got to fight a culture based on country. You got to fight a culture based on religion. You got to fight a culture based on some sort of defined identity that the internet has given them, right? So having said all of that, can we just, like, I'm at the point where I'm like, listen, I'm here in Canada. I know there's lots of issues in the Middle East. I don't fucking want to be the one dealing with any of them, whether it's Israel or Qatar or fucking Afghanistan. How about we just let them figure their shit out? Stop, I don't know. And I know that's
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I'm at the point where I'm like, fuck them all. I don't care about any of the problems in the Middle East as much as I care about just keeping my country intact.
That's the mindset a lot of people have, right? And a lot of people feel guilt about even contemplating those thoughts.
I don't.
But here's the thing: if Canada and America and the UK were completely smashing existence for their own people, okay, I'm talking like everyone's getting 3 foreign holiday holidays a year, your bills are paid, all your kids have the whatever shoes and shit they want. If we were living that lifestyle, this is how we should be acting. Let's help the world. Let's help this country.
Bingo.
I'm sorry if I'm going to someone whose life isn't together to get advice on my life. It's the same thing. We need to have our own things in check before we start allowing this. Now, let me ask you this. If you watch somebody drown in a swimming pool, you should be accountable for that person's life. In the same way as if a government is allowing the silent invasion of a population into a nation, how is that not the same thing as standing and allowing not only an invasion, but what could be argued as transportation? Because I'm telling you this, John, the seats on the boats ain't free, okay?
No, they're not.
Because and I'm just saying, someone's cashing in on this.
Oh yeah, and at the same time, right? The left shits while the right cleans it up. So it's like the left creates this massive immigration problem across the West, and what happens? Well, Big Daddy Trump and Big Daddy Starmer come in with their ICE agents and their digital IDs. Yep. And they say, hey, look, it is out of control. How'd this happen, right? Well, they fucking did it together. That's what I mean when I say there's no difference between the left and the right anymore. They work together. They trick you. It's like you're talking about earlier, creating a fucking infidel without the infidel realizing. You know what I mean? Creating a brainwashed zombie soldier without realizing it. So, and in America and in Canada too, but not to the, thank God, not quite to the extent, but the polarization and the fact that these citizens tie their political ideology to their identity is a dangerous thing. You should you should care about politics. You should care about the people you're voting for, but you shouldn't want to like die for them. And you shouldn't want to like.
How about if you're married and are capable? How about if you're in any of these countries and in a relationship and you both consent to this idea? Just bang your wife and make some people, for the love of God, right? Just make some people. I've made 7. I've made 7. I'm holding down the fort here. Okay, I'm holding down the fort. You guys just need to, get going. Get going. Okay, I want to. You're going to sit down with your miss and say, right, listen, I watched a podcast today, and I'm convinced now that over the next 7 years, we need 5 children, 5 new children. This is what we're going to do. Okay. How are we going to fund this? You're going to start an Etsy store, and you're going to nick your way through pregnancy. That's what we're going to do. Okay.
Yeah. That's. Hey, man. It's like I saw this beautiful picture of a family from like the 60s, and it's like the mom's making this massive, beautiful dinner of non-GMO fucking food, meat and potatoes, all that. And the kids are laughing at the table. The father's got his arm around the wife. And it's like somehow we made this oppressive. You know what I mean? Like we convinced people that this was oppressive. I think we need to start edging back towards that, sadly. Now, of course, everything's a pendulum, and unfortunately human nature takes the pendulum and we go way too far one way or the other with it. If we could just get it to stop somewhere closer to the middle, I think we could actually have ourselves a good time again, you know.
Oh no, I've told you how to have a good time. Sit your wife down, okay, and explain the situation. All right. I just want to say, Oliver's mum, I'm sorry for going on at you a little bit on Friday. I do apologize. I just seen you in my side chat there. I got a bit out of control. Okay, so it's interesting though, but if people want to actually look beyond the meme of what we're talking about here, go and have a look at France and other countries that have shifted from a primary religious faith based off of what could be considered a long format play to outpopulate native individuals, and then apply that to what's going on now. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying when we look at data, wondering what could happen, it's good to look at other areas in which things have progressed to a point that could happen and assess those things could possibly happen here. And there's a lot of stuff going on. And there's a lot of stuff going on in Africa that we don't hear about. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of genocide and culling and madness based off of your faith that's going on.
Entire villages being wiped out right now.
Bro, it's wild. It's wild. Now, when people think about human transportation, they jump to where the movies highlight. It's always the SEX stuff, it's kids, all the rest of it. But there's a grander thing here. There's allowing individuals to move people from one side or another in parts of the world where there's oil or minerals or control of power and things like this. Have you seen from economic game of board? Remember the board game Risk, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, so that's how the world's run. Okay, it's just literally 12 old dudes in a above a bakery in Switzerland going, right,
can I tell
who's
you,
getting it today?
the last time I played Risk was during the Schmovid lockdowns with my ex-girlfriend.
How did that work? Yeah, I was going to say, how did that work out? Yeah.
She had a photographic memory, eh? So she was a real smart cookie. So she was kicking my ass, and I ended up throwing the board across the room.
Yeah, that's how every game of Risk ends, bro. That's how every game of Risk ends. Right? Like, oh God. Yeah, there's never been and the worst thing is that everyone who's good at Risk is so smug about being good at Risk. It's like when you have to listen to a vegan tell you about how good veganism is, right?
Oh,
it just incites violence.
I suppressed those memories.
But bro, just now imagine that. But then imagine that from a world leader point of view. That's why wars start, bro. Wars have just been started out of spite because someone lost in the Risk game room, right? I'm telling you, man. I am telling you. So when it comes to the FBI and transportation, there's a lot more to it than just the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world and turning blind eyes.
I think people should just listen. The complexity of all this stuff is we could sit here for literally 4 days straight and just talk about all the connections that the octopus conspiracy has to modern day things happening. But I think I try and boil things down for people because I know everyone's dealing with it's like this. You know that meme? It's like I'm sorry I didn't respond to your text. I'm dealing with the infinite amount of information with a brain designed to collect berries, right? So it's I try and boil it down. So why would the FBI? So when at the end of this show, when you say goodbye, when you say goodnight, after you go to cancelclose.com and pick up some merch, you like that plug, Ronnie?
Oh, we're going to talk about your merch. Trust me, we're going to be talking about your merch. There's some bangers.
Ask yourself this: why would the FBI dispose of 30 to 100,000 individuals' names who are connected to human transportation rings? Why would they do that? That's the question. Well,
there's two answers, right? There's following orders, and they're on the list. It's only you're either protecting yourself or you're protecting someone else. There's only two. Okay, so I think it's more likely it was following orders. Okay, let's be honest. I can't imagine.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, 100%.
I could be wrong. It could just be that the one FBI guy in the whole universe who was a bad guy just so happened to be the guy in charge of that case, and he's like, "Oh, I better get that." Could be. Statistically, though, unlikely. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to assume that it's a bigger picture thing, and then we have to wonder
where does it all lead?
How many times has it happened before?
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
How many lists before information? Because information has traveled at a designated speed throughout the ages. Okay, whether it was telegrams, whether it was faxes, whether it was emails, or whatever.
Yeah.
So how many lost lists are there? And how long did it take to get to 100K?
That's a fucking horrific thought. Yeah.
Dude.
Great question, right?
I
don't know.
And when people ask why they make lists and all of this, when you start looking into the occult and why things are referred to as spelling and manifestation that comes in their minds from a thought being written brings it into reality.
Sure.
You have to wonder, of the names on a list, I wonder how many of these lists are very long collections of signatures for an agreement.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Because it's a lot easier to imagine a list than to say, well, actually, the front 8 pages of this list is all I declare to the grand underlord demonic force, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. No, look, and it's not like there's a group of rich people that meet up every year and pray to a big wooden owl,
right?
Oh wait, sorry, they do that. My bad.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
The funny thing is, these motherfuckers running shit are a bunch of drama students. They're out there in robes, fucking doing little plays. It's like, what is the fucking royal family even a thing anymore? We just parading the inbred.
Here's the thing,
around.
right?
It's like, hey, look at the Mongoloids.
You're missing the what this is. Okay, this is an elite form of grooming Because if you can sit there and laugh your way through a massive stone owl with effigies of children being burnt in it,
Yes.
just maybe you're susceptible to joining the next meeting. All right. And the next meeting, you know, there might be a little bit of bloodletting. We'll see how you handle the screams of a little bit of bloodletting.
Yeah,
and then we'll go to the next one. And then before you know it, right, it's all a bit mad, you know, because that makes sense to me. Because
before you know it, you're eating pizza with Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Oh man, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, now evil, in contempt of court.
Evil motherfuckers.
Bro. I mean, I'll be honest, when they got called to court, it was a good day. That was I'm not one for screenshotting Twitter posts, right? But I was like, that's going on a mug. As soon if they go down, I'm going to have on one side the tweet of the announcement of them going to court, and on the other side their faces as they're being arrested, because it was massive. But now we've got this clear indication of two-tier system where they got a subpoena, and this went nah. We're good. Nah, you're okay. So
I don't feel like it today. Sorry.
It's if they get away with all of this, it's again just another example of the conditioning of America and the world. Do we expect this? Are we now just at a point where we assume and we go, oh, they'll get away with it, and we see it as a joke, right? But we actually mean it?
What else can you do, right? You know, the average person, it's like it is. It's like you said, we have a little giggle. It's like, 9/11. Yeah, they definitely lied about that. Anyways, I got to go to work and pay my taxes like a fucking chump. Like, what are we doing here? And I think when you look at a lot of the stuff happening right now, there was this little thing happening over on this side of the pond, Ron. I'm not sure if you guys were privy to it or not, but there was a big no tax movement happening, and it's still happening, and I think it is causing a bit of a panic, and I think that's why you're seeing shit get ramped up in the streets of America, Venezuela, Iran, soon to be attacked, I think, allegedly. You know, all these things are meant to get us to step back from the ledge of finally demanding some answers, some accountability, some goddamn representation from these people that, you know, are running our governments. And that transcends. I'm talking about the UK, France, Poland.
Oh yeah,
all of us.
We're stuck in a cycle, John, because you and I could sit here and give all of the hallmark inspiration quotes and moments we want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's all a facade.
Yeah.
So it's great to sit here and think we need to take control. We need to do this, that, the next thing. But deep down inside, we know it's meaningless because everything seems preordained. The individuals who lie get into power and do nothing what they've said.
True.
Like, when does it end? Because at some point there needs to be a line.
We all have to. So listen, it's sorry to jump in, Ron, but it's
okay. No, I'm the worst for it. So please.
I agree with you that it's probably fucking cooked. It's probably hopeless. But having said that, people don't understand. They've tricked us into thinking we have no power. If we literally 10%, so 1 out of 10 people, if you remove yourself from the game, a massive general strike, like people get hung up on it. There needs to be violence. It's actually, there doesn't need to be violence. We just all got to stop playing for like 1 week.
I think we should do.
They can't build anything without us. They can't turn a light bulb on. They don't know how to do an electrical, you know, do the electricity in the house. They don't know how to fix the plumbing. I'm talking about the 1%. You're talking about the politicians.
100%.
They don't know how to do anything without us.
Yeah. So well, here's what I think we should do. If I had the capabilities, I'd tell you all to go and buy one of those old school alarm clocks with a ding-a-ding-a-ding a bell, and everyone in the world at the exact same time, no matter where you are in the world, we're all synchronized, and let those alarms off so the world can be heard in that moment in synchronicity against all of this. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But you know, it'll suck because about 400 people will do it and then no one will hear about it. Right. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one of those things. Yeah. If we all could just, but we've populated ourselves past resolution, John. Okay.
You know, we've reached the point in wealth disparity, right? And you know, you got all these billionaires building bunkers, and people think it's for like a pole shift or a meteor. It's because they've studied history, and guess what happens every time the wealth disparity reaches this level? Fucking revolution happens, friend. It's like clockwork. That happens when we've gotten to this point. So the question is and like, Is it real revolutions, or is this how the cycle's meant to work, Ron? Like, are we supposed to get to this point every 100 years?
Well, listen,
Collapse
now I'm thinking
more, and then just we slowly do it again. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But then we've also got the algorithm now that if we have talked about the FBI and the powers that be allowing criminals to get to a certain point to achieve a goal they never realized they were part of, how can we then trust a revolutionary icon who gets to where they are to lead us? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like there's like 9 billion of us.
I don't know.
We couldn't, if we were to all have an online meeting, all of us, and we had to agree to change the color of the lines on the road, and nothing changes until we all agree, we are going to die collectively in that meeting. Okay, we're going to starve.
That's for
sure. Do you
sure.
see what I'm saying? So we've overpopulated past the point of resolution. So when you now have a government worrying about a subsection rising up, if it was 500 years ago and your population is 100,000 and 30% of them rise up, that's a bit of a it's a fight, right?
Yeah.
But when your population's in the millions and millions now, you seem to think that you're outnumbered. There's a reason they're called the 1% and we're the 99. Religion, politics, society, social class separates us all. But when we put that aside and focus on an end goal, I promise, once we defeat this tyrannistic government, you can all go back to shit posting about each other and kicking each other's asses and all of that. But until we unite, focused on an outcome that benefits us all, we're cooked. We're cooked.
I just had like an epiphany too, right, Ron? It's like this. So, let's just take it from like a mega perspective or whatever. And, we idolize these public figures, and we hold ourselves to a way higher standard of moral, like fortitude than they do. They don't take. Do you think Trump and the boys take religion seriously, or do they use it to manipulate shit and get what they want? They don't care as much as we do about the things that they represent, and that's fucking everything up, because it's like anyways, it's just creating this world of hypocrisy.
Yeah, it really is
a joke. It's all a joke to me at this point, Ron, but somehow I'm not laughing.
And you know what though, I've just realized we, the individual, the member of society who is sadly realizing that we have come to terms with the fact that we've created this, it's denial. It boils down to denial. We have been happy to live in denial until it ends up on our doorstep, and now it's here. And I'll tell you something, this country and all the freedoms that we take for granted cost millions of lives, blood spilt for generations, and we're too busy on TikTok and too busy with our thumbs up our arses to remember not only the sacrifices but the journey your culture, your people had. If this was 500 years ago and people were invading your lands, things would be handled very differently. Do you see what I'm saying? So in the grand scheme of humanity, the last 2 pages in the library of the history of existence is our time, and we are the wet wipe example of human nature, too complicit and lazy to fight for the liberties and freedoms we've taken for granted.
We're like it's the 8th season of Game of Thrones. That's what we are right now.
Bro. Right? It's like, damn.
What a crying shame that
is.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All that conspiracy that I learned in high school about one world governments and that. Oh, it's all coming true now. Oh, no. It's a bit late now, though. Yeah. As long as they don't import a foreign army that can fight us. Oh, wait. Oh, no. They have done that. Okay, great. So, yeah, fun podcast, this one. I just want to go outside and smash plates off the walls. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? We had some very real convo here, but I still have like a positive vibe. I can't explain it. I don't know.
Yeah, do you know what that is? That's because humans, we're all stupid.
We've reached a precipice. Yeah, even the smartest of us are completely.
Bro.
I agree. But there's a precipice here. Either way, it's about to go down. I'm ready. I'm cool with it.
Oh, listen, bro. My biggest advice to anyone in the UK is start doing cardio and find a self-defense class that specializes in realistic street attacks from improvised weapons and knives. Learn to have the confidence, because that's what the UK's craziness is going to fall into, is people running around, smacking each other with stuff and trying to poke each other with pointy things.
I like to say, get right with your neighbor. Like, we got to, that's another big problem with our whole
community.
community's gone. That's like you do a whole you go out for dinner and you're fucking, this is what you're seeing the whole time. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
like, oh, can I get the breadsticks, please? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now talk to your neighbors, have a plan, little things like that. That'd be
100%. In fact, go beyond that. Look at your postcode or your zip code and make it your goal this year to know as many people as you can, and really get into an understanding that that guy that lives 4 doors down with you with the 2 kids and the lovely wife, and he's a bit of a nerd. Maybe he's like an accountant or something. He's very very quiet guy. Wait until his children have missed 9 meals. Wait until his kids have missed 9 meals, what he's willing to do.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you've we have had it so cushy in our countries.
True.
Okay?
True.
We really have no concept of what true oppression and true nothingness. I don't mean like I work at Walmart, can't pay my rent and can't go on holiday this year. I'm talking like I've sold 3 of my kids already, so the other 5 kids can have a shot at life. Poverty, madness. Okay, and
we really need to see. Oh, that's just rearing its head in our cultures now. Like
crazy, man.
And look at how fucked we already are just from like a little taste of it. Wait till it gets 100 times worse, like you said. So, but I mean,
yeah.
Maybe that's what will unite us, though. I don't know.
Nah, do you know, bro? Here's the real hard facts. It's going to take let's call it an act of God. And when we say that, it's a decision that impacts the planet out with the decision making of the elites.
Yep.
So the freaking dinosaurs coming back, an asteroid hitting Earth, aliens landing, these things that give us something that is more than them. That's what it's going to take. Okay. And I'll tell you something else. All the people, because an interesting one, right? I often say this, right? Like if let's just say for one reason, right? And I'm going to use Jesus as an example of this, right? Let's say a holy deity came back in 2026, straight to the loony bin. Straight to the loony bin. Like, unless Jesus is coming back with lightning bolts coming out of his hands, he's going to go, I'm Jesus. And they're going to go, are you? Have you got an ID, sir? You don't have an ID.
Oh, I hope he doesn't respawn in the Gaza Strip. If he does, he might have already got fucking cooked.
So those who are waiting for a holy intervention, like I would be looking on Twitter for people subtly mentioning things rather than a holy deity appealing. Because Jesus wasn't renowned for like his showmanship. He was very much like, you know, like okay, here's some water, here's some fish. Now everyone turn around. Everyone turn around. Everyone turns around. They turn back around. More fish, and it's turned into wine. So
Mary Magdalene, yeah.
All religions are lies. Yeah, could be. I mean, I'm definitely more on the side of it's interesting when the 3 big religions were formed, how every other thing we'd worshipped since the dawn of time became a bad thing.
Sure.
Right? It's crazy.
They're all based off this soul.
Right.
But whatever.
It's literally it's the same format as movies that we
stuck in my head. I have this thing stuck in my head, Ron, of Jesus like respawning in Palestine and just getting bombed every time.
Right.
So and he's
right.
Like, damn it. And he's like, boom.
Have I got the right coordinates? Is this the right place for the interdimensional Uber to be dropping me off? Are you sure? Man, like it's just we're so cooked unless aliens arrive, and I mean proper aliens, and like real deal aliens, right? Who, by the way, better not look too scary, or you better break yourselves in easy. Okay, I'm just saying now. Okay, if you're 7 foot and your skin's red and you've got huge black horns and hoofs, but you're actually really cool guys, just slowly break that in. Okay, like cure cancer first. Then reveal yourself. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's
right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man. And we are good I'm so good at derailing my own podcast. So let's conclude, right? Okay. There is evidence, like you say, with the octopus murders and individuals with hundreds of thousands of names connecting them to individuals who prey on children, and it's seen as a client list. These things are all real. Like, what's your conclusion for the FBI? Is it fully cooked? Can we really trust any of the letter agencies, or should we just get rid of them as a whole?
Abolish them all, start over, full transparency. We got to go back to like, you remember why you call it public service, right? Public office. It's because we are supposed to have access to everything they're doing. Do you know why they call us private citizens? It's because they shouldn't know fuck all about what we do.
Yeah.
It's completely reversed. Let's work on getting that back.
It's almost like when they removed your ability to take your money and be given gold in exchange for it, they realized how dumb we truly were. Because once they just made our only way of showing the government any kind of force, which is the financial way, once they made that meaningless, I mean, that's just how dumb we all are. Again, we're just...
Money's not real.
It was such a derp moment. We done it here as well. And it's like, wow. Why would any government be like, we're going to remove the gold standard from your money? Why though? I didn't do that. Trust me, bro. It's fine. It's okay.
It's an endless cycle of debt, perpetual debt, which is inescapable. Good times.
Yeah, and listen, I understand a lot of you are probably going to have a brandy this evening after listening to all this, and I just want to say it's okay. All right, just don't be excessive with it all. Everything should be fine. I'm a bit of a realist.
Yeah,
I'm a bit of a realist, so I hope everything's going to be the same. But it's our choice. It's our choice as the 99% to decide where the line is and when enough is enough, because we're the ones who are the majority, and we're so terrified, we're so pushed back to a point where, hey, we can't talk about this online because straight to jail. Can't have an opinion outside because you're a racist. Can't put up a flag of your own nation because 500 years ago some other white dude's done some mad stuff and it's your fault now. Like it's just not the way.
God forbid you have a nuanced thought that doesn't conform to the script that either side has written, right?
Yep.
And people really don't know what to do with you. I've managed to make my fucking bread off that, so that's well, it's a fine line though. It's a fine line.
It really is a fine line. But give us your kind of outro here, John, and also remind us what you got coming up, what's next for you. And before we go, we're going to take a look at some of your merch, because there's a couple of absolute bangers on there.
We got some fire new merch. Listen, if you're over there in the UK and you support Denmark's claim on Greenland, we got the Greenland Denmark shirts that just dropped. Of course, we got the Greenland USA shirts for all the hard-nosed patriots in America that might be watching. But regardless, everything's a joke. Having said that, we should take this joke seriously. And most importantly, Ron, I think the biggest new message I'm trying to send out is like, we should all take like a big step back. I think people have lost the plot. Yes, the Israeli government's very problematic. Do we need to go full fucking Germany circa 1933 in the comment section of my videos though? No, that's not really helping. In fact, you're honeypotting yourself. You're exposing yourself to future, persecution. Because they're not just setting up all this Palantir censorship stuff for fun. They're gonna use it. You know what I mean? So everything you're saying online right now is there forever. Just keep that in mind. We should not be advocating for violence. We should not celebrate the death of our fellow citizens at the hands of a secret police, no matter what side you're on. I don't really give a flying hoot. You know what I'm saying? I don't care which side the secret police comes from. I will never support secret police. I will always support the downtrodden, even when they're complete, what's the word for mentally handicapped people? You know what I'm trying to say here. Even I blame the system. So the next time your neighbor or your family member or your friend says something to you that is just, mind-shatteringly stupid, try not to blame them. Remember, they're a product of this broken-ass system we're living in, and we're all just trying to survive. And all anyone wants, Ron, whether you're Muslim, Chinese, Ukrainian, Russian, Jewish, Palestinian, or just a good old-fashioned Canadian, we just want a fair chance at a decent life. Just give us that. Just give us that. We can be chill. We don't ask for much. But when when people can't afford groceries and record profits are being made and we're being told that we got to go to war for some cause that we don't really understand, well, maybe we should all take one giant step back. And maybe we should throw our phones in the lake too, Ron, just to
Yeah, I agree. You know that weird island in the Amazon full of snakes that nobody can go to?
Yes!
Because, like that tribe that, like, everyone that goes there, that tribal, like, murders and they're untouched. Yes. I think every year we should vote on one politician who we think has done the worst at their job to go and live there. And we'll see how quickly politics sorts itself out overnight, because that's no gold standard. And the fact that the
each country of the world picks an ambassador.
Oh yeah, an ambassador of doing a terrible job for the people, and then we just send them all out, because we need to regain the public service. And you nailed it with that. Governments should always fear the people that they represent, because that's the only dynamic, right, where it truly works, because that's when respect is given and you're heard. That doesn't mean a violent nation. It just means a nation that will collectively gather for the culture and the beliefs that exist there.
Amen, brother. Fucking amen.
Well, listen, go and check out John's merch. Go and check out John's Instagram. Go and check out John's YouTube. We'll definitely be seeing you again, John, because there's a lot. We should have probably booked in for a longer chat, because we could probably keep going. And
brother.
I'll look forward to it. And thank you all for being here. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to the Shaun Attwood channel. Thank you to all watching at home. Please like and share. Without you guys watching, we're just two dudes on a Zoom call just ranting at each other. So thank you for giving us the ability to converse this week. So thank you to all of you at home, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Cheers.